Good morning, everyone. It's 7:56 a.m. on Monday the 24th, and we got our run today, around 10 miles, I would say. So I'm just gonna have this banana, and then I'll meet you outside before we get started. So, it's 8:05 right now, and you guys probably noticed that we're starting the run much later today than I normally do. I like to usually be up before 6 a.m., but today it's much later. And I was thinking about how, looking upon like my past breaks from school and everything, I would still wake up super early, which is good on one hand because I can hold myself accountable and everything like that. But on the other hand, I need some time, I feel like, in my day to like relax my mind and body and de-stress. And of course, the best time to do that is sleep. So sleep is really important, especially in this training cycle when I'm running so many miles. And with the marathon 2 days ago, my body's still recovering from that. So I decided last night, I went to bed pretty late, like around 10:30 or 11, but I decided, you know what, instead of forcing myself awake at 5, let me just get some extra sleep. It'll be good for my body, and it'll be good for my mind. And I actually do feel much better after that. I feel well rested. I don't feel groggy. I don't feel tired. And most importantly, right now my legs feel really good, nice and fresh. So I do think it's super important just to prioritize that sleep. And I'm going to try to be better about that. Maybe getting to bed a little earlier, or even waking up a little later on weekdays, just so I can just rest up during the break while still keeping my mileage nice and high. So yeah, plan for today is around 8 to 10 miles most probably, and yeah, we'll go get after it. So I'll meet you guys outside on the run. Alright, just waiting for the Garmin to go off. There we go. So let's get this run started. Alright guys, we're just around 5K in and feeling really good, actually, surprisingly. I have to kind of tell myself to slow down the pace because I don't really want to go sub 9-minute miles today, but my body's feeling good. Weather's also super beautiful outside right now, which is a huge plus. And yeah, feeling good. And this video, I know we wanted to talk about weekly mileage and how you should determine how many miles a week you should run. I think that's a really interesting topic because it's so different for everyone. So once we get back home, we're going to talk about that. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. That was definitely a good run today. Max heart rate adjusted to 197. Fastest 10K, once again, that is not true. I don't know where Garmin's getting this from. Let's see. Stats on this today. Overall, really solid run. 10.04 miles, 8:56 pace, an hour, 29 minutes, 40 seconds. Felt really good today. Surprisingly, didn't think I was gonna go any faster than 8:30s, but it felt nice. I think the sleep really helped, so let's keep that in mind for future training. And like I said, we're gonna talk about weekly mileage today, but the heat's kind of getting to me right now. So I'm gonna quickly take a shower, eat some breakfast, then I'll meet you guys in the sunroom and we can have a talk. All right, so this is my post-run breakfast after 10 miles. I got an egg bagel and then 4 eggs and a little omelet, and I'll put cream cheese on the bagel. All right, everyone. We just wrapped up breakfast. I ate those eggs and bagels. The run went really well today. It's pretty cool outside today, actually. I think much better than the heat wave that we had last week. And for today's video, I kind of wanted to talk about how you should find your ideal weekly mileage. Because I've been running for, I would say, quite a while now, and I've had experience testing like basically the range of like 20 miles per week to 70 miles a week. I'd like to talk about, how you can find your ideal fit and personal experience, what has worked for me. So first of all, weekly mileage consists of your mileage from Monday to Sunday, and you kind of want to find your mileage so that you're somewhere in between where you're pushing yourself and building your aerobic base, which is your base fitness, those easy runs, and your anaerobic fitness, which is your faster workouts that will affect your VO2 max and really get you faster in shorter events like the 5K and your top speed and everything like that. So you want to have a nice balance where your weekly mileage can work stuff like that. So there are multiple training philosophies to this, and I've talked about them a little bit in the past, but not fully. So first of all, there are people that train low mileage, and they run 30, 40 miles a week, which is low for them. So these people are running 30 or 40 miles a week, and they're doing a lot more cross training at this point because they think, running does put a lot of stress on your bodies, which is true. Running will just, put a lot of more stress on your joints. And for someone that's injury prone, maybe running 30 to 40 miles a week will work for you. And if you're a new runner, of course, 30 is a lot. I remember when I started running in my first season of cross country, I was running 30 miles per week, and I was one of the highest mileage freshmen on the team. Everyone's like, oh my god, you're insane. And now 30 miles per week is barely anything. So if you're starting off, you really should ease into it. And I wouldn't even go by mileage per se. I would go by time. Maybe try to run for 2 to 3 hours in total per week. And split that across however many days that you want, and not even necessarily worry about mileage. But there are those people that train lower weekly mileage and they do higher cross training, just putting less volume on your legs, less volume on your body. So if that's something that you're interested in, you're worried about injury, you're a little bit short on time. A lot of people opt for on their daily workouts, a 30-minute run in the morning and the 30-minute elliptical bike or strength session in the evening. So you're really finding some balance and not running too much. Then on the opposite end of that, there is the high mileage sector of training, which is what I kind of train with, that belief that I kind of had. So I think training high mileage is good for your body. You're building some muscular strength, building some muscular endurance, good for your aerobic base. And for me, high mileage, I would say, is between 55 to 70 miles a week. So I feel like that's a good place for me to start. And after my race in March, I've kind of been on and off with running throughout the winter. But in May, I started building up again. So I was going 40 miles a week, then 50. And now I'm sitting around 60 miles a week for the past 3 weeks now, I think. So I would say, for me right now, 60 is feeling really comfortable. I feel like I can hit those 10-mile runs during the day and a long run on the weekend to really get me to 60 comfortably. It always feels good. So I think I'm going to sit at that for a while. And that's another thing. I don't think you want your mileage to hurt you. Before, 50 miles a week, last year in the winter, 50 miles a week was really pushing it for me. My body was constantly sore. I felt like micro injuries popping up, but I still kept doing it just for 50, just to hit 50 miles a week. And I don't think that's a good idea. So if you really feel like you're being pushed too hard and your body is under too much stress that you keep picking up little injuries, that mileage is too high for you. So my main tip is find something that's comfortable for you, for me right now, 60 is comfortable. I don't feel like, oh, this is insane. But I don't feel like, oh, I'm just running a little bit less mileage. And then you also have times that you do want to push yourself. Eventually I do think I will hit 70 miles a week sometime this summer. And that will be pushing it to averaging out 10 miles a day. So it will be more difficult. But I think you shouldn't be pushing yourself too often, but it should happen sometimes. And then in terms of down weeks, I'm kind of on and off with down weeks. I don't always take them. But sometimes in between, during a training block, I feel like I do. But usually I don't, to be honest. But a common training philosophy is 4 weeks of mileage and then 1 down week. So, for example, I think at 60 miles a week right now, a down week for me, if I were to do one, would be around 45 miles. So I would say 15 miles step back is a good place to be. So, if you're hitting 50, do 35. If you're doing 30, hit 15 miles a week. You just want 1 step back week. Just let your body recover. Don't worry about anything else. You can still keep the same structure. You can have 1 workout during the week in your long run. But everything will just be less volume. So your same intensity, less volume. So that's kind of what a down week looks like. And on the other hand, another idea is the 10% rule, where you want to build your mileage by no more than 10% per week. And I think this is a good idea, but there are also some caveats to it. So for example, during my building, I was this spring I was going around 30 to 40 to 50 miles, which as we know is more than 10%. But the reason I was able to do that was because I've run that level of mileage before. I've run 50 miles before. I've run 40 miles a week before. So I know that my body can handle that. But I think if you're a new runner, the 10% rule is really good. If you're starting at 30 one week, next week run 33, and then so on and so forth, build from there. Because 10% per week allows you to build slowly and steadily and make sure your body's adapting to each new level of mileage. And that's another thing. Adaptation is really important. Like, that's why I'm taking these few weeks of 60 miles before I go to 70, just so my body can adapt and I can know that I can handle this before making these big incremental jumps. And you really want to be conscientious of that you're letting your legs get used to whatever increases in mileage you're making and all that stuff. So you just have to be careful of that. And overall, yeah. So I would say my main tips are find a level, like a good starting point for yourself. If you're a new runner, be careful. Start low mileage. Focus more on time. If you're building back from an injury, have some confidence that your body can do it, but also take your time. Like 30 miles, start off at 20, go 30, then 40. Then if you want to sit at 50, sit at 50 for a few weeks. And then as to that idea, sit and adapt to your mileage. But really find what's comfortable for you. I know some people that run sub 3-hour marathons when just running 30 miles per week and just mainly focusing on cross training. So mileage is not everything unless you make it to be. Like, I love running high mileage. It's something I enjoy. But if you don't love running high mileage but you still want to race fast, then you have to find a good balance. So that's what this is all about, balance. Mileage is important, but make sure you're finding something that works for you, because ultimately this is all individual. So yeah, those are my thoughts on how you should structure out your weekly mileage. I hope this helps you guys out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.